What is an acquittal in legal terms? Imagine sitting in a courtroom, watching a case unfold, and wondering what it really means when someone walks out declared not guilty. That moment is called an acquittal. An acquittal is a formal legal decision that says the person charged with a crime is not guilty of the charges brought against them. It's like a final stamp that the prosecution did not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. This high standard means the evidence must be very convincing to convict someone. When a judge or jury finds the defendant not guilty, they are giving an acquittal. In a courtroom, a jury usually makes this decision after listening to all the evidence and arguments. But sometimes, a judge can also grant a judgment of acquittal during the trial if the evidence is too weak for any reasonable person to believe the defendant committed the crime. This can happen before the jury even begins deliberating, or after a guilty verdict if the evidence was legally insufficient. An acquittal clears the defendant of the charges, meaning they are legally discharged and no longer face punishment for those specific crimes. It also means the case is over for that person, and they cannot be tried again for the same offense. This protection comes from the double jeopardy clause, which prevents someone from being tried twice for the same crime once they have been acquitted. It's important to understand that an acquittal does not necessarily mean the person is innocent. It only indicates that the prosecution did not meet the burden of proof. Sometimes, evidence from an acquitted case can still be used in other legal proceedings if relevant. In post-trial actions, an acquittal is a key decision that officially ends the case against the defendant. It's a safeguard to ensure only cases with enough evidence lead to convictions. Judges have the authority to grant a judgment of acquittal if the evidence is too weak, which helps keep trials fair and prevents wrongful convictions. To sum up, an acquittal is the official legal ruling that a person is not guilty because the evidence was not enough to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It ends the criminal case and protects the defendant from being tried again for the same charges.